Throw Gang, we are joined by the Sultan of the Set, the Lord of the Looks, the showroom shaman. His slippies are tight like Gorilla Grippy with the pipe. I don't know if he does weddings, but he's killing the covers. Wifed up, but this stylist still pulls. He rocks the big shorts because the Johns are jacked to the teats. The Brahma Bull of the belly button ring. Must be a gastroenterologist how he's collecting the samples. Tossing the celeb salad because he be dressing them. Author of The Secret Life of Pants. Oh, you don't like GQ? How about you queue up on this G's nuts? Stylist and co-founder of Lenys World, Jon Tietz. Jon, how the hell are you?
Wow.
What up, baby?
How the fuck do you come up with all
man, my
that?
brain's broken.
They don't introduce people like that in Minnesota, brother.
No. No, that is New York at its finest.
Yeah, 37 years of just broken brain has led us to
Wow,
this.
that was so fast.
Real East Coast spit.
So deep. So deep.
You do be collecting these samples.
Yeah.
Like a gastroenterologist.
And the belly button ring. I heard that
Well,
one.
we're
we
going to
got a
talk a
whole-
lot about your
we got a
belly
whole-
button.
yeah.
ring, bro.
Yeah.
That's why you're here, by the way. Specifically
figured.
because of that
I
one
figured.
piercing.
Yeah.
This
John,
man's got a belly button ring. Get him on the horn.
John, we're so happy to have you. Feels like a long time coming, and we're finally in the motherfucking building.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One of
for
our
having
most
me.
requested guests, I would say.
No cap.
Seriously.
Get out of here.
No, I swear to God.
No.
You're just a humble Midwestern boy, but like this or upper, what is Minnesota? Upper Ute? What is that?
It's the North.
Yeah.
It's the North. It's always known as like the Midwest, but
King of the North.
It's the North.
Yeah.
King of the North.
You are an oft requested guest.
Yes.
Seriously. So thank you for
Hilarious.
taking the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
But-
for the
and not-
people.
Yeah. It was too cold for you to bike here though today, right?
Yeah, no biking today.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Okay.
no. I did sit in the sun though.
Mm.
Do you do that like every morning to start your day? Are you one of those guys?
I want to try and be in the sun an hour a day.
Charge up.
Yeah, charge up.
Do you do like the sunning the butthole move? You know about that? The chakra, the brown chakra.
Perineum.
That's
the
so
perineum.
funny.
Yeah.
No, people do. That's a real thing.
Really?
Yeah.
My buddy was just talking about that yesterday.
Was
I was
he-
because I was telling him how he needed more sunlight.
Yeah.
You know? And because I start listening to all these podcasts. And Rick Rubin had someone on the other day, and he's all about sunlight.
Right.
You know, and your body getting enough sunlight and
Vitamin
staying away
D?
from like blue light, vitamin D. And my buddy's like, oh, well, my butthole itches like crazy. So maybe I'll just start sunning my ass.
for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, well, go for it, bud.
Well, the theory is that as the most like absorbent part of your body, it takes in the most like vitamin D.
your asshole.
Your
Yeah,
asshole.
it's quite
Oh, wow.
porous. It
Yeah.
is a hole
Wow.
after all.
Yeah.
That is the D portal.
Yeah. It is the sandworm of this Shai Hulud of the lower bathing suit.
Shout out to all
region.
the Fremen on Arrakis. We stand with you.
Are you listening to a bunch of wellness pods because you miss LA? Is that what that is?
Yeah, you got pilled, brother.
I kind of miss LA, but I like being in New York. But
We
I
can
miss
talk about
I miss the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's the big.
This last
gap.
stretch was like a real long gap of no sun.
This must have been
And
your
that
first
fucks with
winter
me.
in New York for a minute, right?
For like 3 years.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
But you're from Minnesota, so it's like you've already been in the shit.
Yeah. I'm
You're a
used to
vet.
it. I'm used to it. But I got really used to being in the sun all the time.
You got
LA's
spoiled.
LA's a weird deal. It's its own. It's
Hell.
its own
Cursed
thing.
hellhole.
It's its own asshole being sunned.
I had a buddy that I was with. Yeah,
That's exactly
what it is. And he's like every day is Groundhog's Day out here. He's like every day I wake up and the sun's shining and it's beautiful, and I'm like, am I burning in hell? And,
Yeah.
you know. But at the same time, it's pretty magical out there.
Right.
That might be all the shrooms you're doing.
Yeah, well, I do a lot of shrooms.
Where?
Yeah. All right.
But yeah.
Which, hey, you ever boofed shrooms? Again,
Ooh.
super absorbent butthole.
Shroom boofer.
Yeah.
Never boofed. Never boofed.
Never boofed a shroomie?
Never boofed a shroomie.
You learn something new every day. John, the first thing we want to do is a fit check. And listen, you are known as a guy who puts that shit on. The question for you when we walk through everything you're wearing today is you want to start top down or do you want to go bottom up?
Bottom up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
Bottom up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Starting with what's outside.
yeah.
The kicks, the boots.
Those are Danner. Danner steel toe.
Those
Good
are
old-
heavy duty.
Heavy duty.
How heavy are they if they're steel toe?
Clunkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like 2 pounds each.
Damn.
Calf workout.
I love those things. I got those. Where did I pick those up? Amrit and I went to Vegas once, and we were going to like Goodwills out there and found those there.
Damn.
Yeah.
Dude, the
Favorite boot.
The vintage and pawn shopping in Vegas,
Oh,
I've
dude.
heard is second to none, especially like for
Wild.
jewelry, because everyone's fucking betting, their fortunes and their homes.
They're
And then they got
Like we were
Gotta
there for the
fork it
Super
up.
Bowl, and I was like, "Yo, we got to go to the pawn shops the day after the Super Bowl. I'm sure the amount of jewelry there is going to be crazy."
Yeah, a lot of kids college
Everyone's-
tuition, dude, behind the
Everyone's
fucking
gotta
bulletproof glass, dude.
Pay up their debts.
But you got the vintage steel toes, or they were like gently used.
Yeah, no, they were super used,
Mm.
and that was like the
Super
best part
used
of
to
it.
body berries in the desert, right?
Right.
Why else do you need
No,
workwear in
like,
Vegas?
where did these come from?
Exactly.
But they were the best thing on the rack, and so I grabbed those.
Do you know
That's
the
like one of the
model?
only things I got out there.
Like, or it's just
No, I'd have to look at it,
Okay.
but it's just the steel toe work boots. They're probably, I don't know, 10 years old, 8 years old, I guess.
the
Yeah.
clunkers.
But
And
my
you'll-
fave.
They were used to build the Bellagio. All right,
Yeah. Moving on up to the socks. What's on the dogs?
Uniqlo. What is it? The thermal.
Heat Tech.
Heat Tech.
yeah.
Mm.
Heat Tech socks. Oh my God. I love these. I got into these in the fall last year before winter, and I was like, I did Heat Tech the whole winter.
you're a Uniqlo man now.
Yeah,
An
an ambassador.
Oh shit.
It's a Uniqlo family, dude.
Yeah.
Listen, he was wearing Uniqlo before he was paid to, ladies
God
and gentlemen.
damn. No, way before. Way before.
Yeah. You guys look great, by the way.
Thank you.
Whose
Thank
idea
you.
was it?
I wish
for,
Frankie was in it.
did you
but-
guys style yourself? You must have styled
Yeah,
yourself.
we
and
just
Amrit?
fucked around.
Nice.
Yeah. And we had like no time. So we had,
Oh, it's rushed.
yeah, it was like, we did that in like
You
20
look good in the
minutes.
sarong or
Were you
skirt
wearing-
or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Were you
Yeah.
wearing any underwear under
I
the
got some
skirt?
shit for that. What?
Were you wearing any underwear under the skirt?
I don't know if I was. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was sitting there changing. in front
Uniqlo
of
Heat
everyone.
Tech.
Heat Tech.
Yeah, dude.
Wait, you got shit for
pitching.
wearing the skirt? Who gave you shit?
Someone gave me shit about it, and they're like,
Like a homie?
They're like, you have a baby now, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you think I care?
Was it a homie or homophobe?
I don't know what he is anymore.
Oh,
actually.
yeah, because he kind of
Yeah.
just fucking blew it.
Yeah, blew it.
Fuck that guy.
And I was like, no. You got to check yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a baby. Stop wearing skirts. What kind of
Dude,
fucking
it's a
stance
skirt.
is
Like,
that?
what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Makes no
dude.
sense to me.
Yeah,
I was
fuck
like,
that guy.
no. Check
Yeah.
yourself.
Clearly
before
it's
you
an
write me
election
something
year.
like that.
You are not wearing a skirt today, though. You have on work pants, it looks like.
Yeah, these are
Those are Dickies.
Dickies. Yeah,
Nice.
these ones
Vintage?
are yeah, I never know what I have on, dude.
You are wearing
Yeah.
a lot of articles of clothing.
There's a whole pile of shit that
Yeah,
we have
there's
to
a
get
pile
to
of
later.
shit over
Later.
there.
The layers later.
Yeah, these are Dickies. Yeah, some vintage
Nice.
crap I picked up.
You got
Well-
a fucking knife.
Knife. Oh, dude, always have a box cutter on me.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
That-
yeah.
In case
always.
shit gets a little left on the subway or.
You never know. You
gets a
never know.
bit
You gotta open
staticky on
something.
set.
You gotta defend yourself too. You
Yeah.
know?
Okay.
You never know these days.
Yeah. And then the belt
I get
is.
so much shit for this knife.
Really?
Too.
It's a nice pop of baby
I
blue,
put it-
Robin's blue.
One time I put it in Amrit's carry-on bag before
Oh.
she went through security. And I think I'm still trying to figure out how
Your
to get out of
brown
that
wife
one.
had you put a box cutter in her
Yeah.
luggage. You
Damn.
fucking
Yeah.
psycho.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Again,
Hand up. That's
we
on
were
me.
rushed.
John, it's an election year. Okay, you gotta move different.
Wild. Yeah.
What about the belt?
belt vintage?
Mm.
Yeah, this one I wear all the time.
Is anything you're wearing today not vintage?
No. Well, the hat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which
But
you
Rocky-
made vintage.
Yeah.
Which turned.
I know it smelled
vintage.
crazy in there.
This thing is rotten.
You love a cooked hat. That's like I feel like
Yeah.
a signature move.
I cook these things real fast.
Sauteed and flambéed.
No,
dude.
it's like it's within 2 weeks they're cooked.
Wow.
You're a big
Does it-
sweater?
Yeah, I run hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that Minnesota blood.
It's that Minnesota blood. But yeah, I'll wear these things constantly.
All right, with the torso, do you want to go outside in or
Inside out.
inside out?
Okay.
LL Bean.
Vintage?
Flannel.
Yeah. Yep. One of my faves. I wear this thing too much. And then old Harley Davidson vest.
With the
Yeah.
big fucking silver hardware on it.
Yeah.
looking
That's
nice.
sick, dude.
Big silver.
I'm happy we're wearing that on camera so that everyone who pays to see the video is getting their money's worth.
Yeah. And then a wallet.
Little wallet check.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what's the wallet?
Some vintage
This guy's so sustainable.
this was a yeah, this guy. This was from an estate sale. Some woman's she had a ton of wallets.
You and Amrit love an estate sale.
Yeah, we love
Is that like the number one couples activity for both of you guys?
yeah.
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 Just
I mean-
buying shit off of dead people.
Buying shit off of dead people. It's the best.
What's
I
not to
can't
love?
wait for people to die.
Hurry up.
Come on, let's die. Let's get in there.
I want to first crack at your shit.
Guy died of skin cancer of the asshole. And then, sorry, was the vest over the hoodie? Or-
No, hoodie was over all of this.
Okay.
right?
I
No.
I don't know.
No, vest was over that hoodie.
What's the hoodie?
I think it's just old shitty champion from
Feels
a
nice
while
and
back.
sturdy. It
Yep.
looks like a champion reverse weave. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not shitty. Shout out champion.
Oh, I didn't even see. What
Oh,
wait,
we
this is
love
all one-
champion.
this is one piece of
Love
clothing.
champion.
Yeah.
And then
You love champion.
the leather jacket.
Leather jacket, old Saks jacket.
Ooh. Fifth
I
Avenue.
love that.
Estate sale?
No, I was hunting for a shoot and bought that one.
Fire.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta keep the things that you buy for a shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Too good.
You,
Well,
someone-
sometimes you buy for the shoot knowing that is gonna go home with
so
you.
like you're using someone else's budget to like, enrich your closet.
Yeah.
The fresh
Sorts.
styling, the freshest
Sorts.
scam.
Yeah.
What about
I take it out of my invoice.
Oh,
of
yeah,
course,
sure.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
of course.
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
In case any clients are listening.
I'm very obvious.
And what's the
Honest
cooked?
over here.
What's the cooked chapeau?
And then this is Rocky's mine.
Shout out Rocky.
Mm,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. A few of these ones.
What are the
Yeah, like
panties?
that.
Real quick.
Panties. Oh, Hanes probably.
Hanes boxers. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, you're going
Add
on the
each of the
list.
list.
What?
We have
Are
a
you-
running list of boxer wearers.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
I do.
boxer.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a boxer.
Can you explain
Oh,
why
yeah.
boxers? Just why do you personally love boxers?
I've gone all over the place. Briefs to fucking tidy whities to
Wow.
yeah. No, I explore. and it's boxers.
because
I
you like
I
the
don't
clackers clack,
anything-
right?
Nothing restricting me.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why do you want to like force the wad your meat up?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, let the fucking thing run.
I like the support. I'm done defending my fucking
Me
underwear
water.
choices.
Yeah.
Well, you've joined a elite list of names and fellas, including all our mutual homies. Aaron Levine, he's
Oh.
on here. So you
My
know,
guy.
look,
Yeah,
if the
boxer
fucking
guy.
if the menswear Yoda is wearing boxers,
The menswear Yoda.
That would
He
make
is-
you what, Luke Skywalker?
No. What's way below at the bottom? What's the bottom?
Babu freak. No,
Oh, yeah.
A Babu freak.
An anti-Semitic caricature of.
no, that's not him. That's not him.
Oh, that's on him.
Um,
Okay.
He's like the little, not that guy. No.
I've never seen Star Wars before.
Any of them?
Any of them.
What about like the cartoons with your daughter, like when she's of age?
Yeah.
Then I will.
Okay, cool.
I think that's why I'm saving it for her.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saving a
Her and
baby
I-
movie for an actual
Yeah,
baby.
yeah. First time, both of us.
Let's talk hardware real quick. So the ears, the necklace. What do you want to start, John?
boy.
There's so much.
And the bracelets, too.
You're TSA nightmare.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially when he puts
Yeah.
a box cutter in his wife's luggage, dude.
Yeah, pre-check. Let's see. It's all just vintage shit.
It's all
Yeah.
vintage.
It's all vintage, except the ring is from Maggie Simpkins.
Mhm.
Yeah,
The
she's
wedding
great.
band.
Yeah, wedding band.
Okay, nice.
She,
That's a thick band. Is
Yeah.
that coming? I wonder if that's like, I tried to do something in between as a fellow married guy,
Yeah.
but I feel like I wonder if you're going
Yeah,
big.
mine's slightly wider than yours.
Yeah, I wonder if now
Girth check.
girth check. Damn, fuck, dude. Now you're gonna start. A whole trend is gonna start now where it's like, I need a girthier band.
Yeah.
This was off of my dad's wedding ring.
Nice.
So I like have always loved his ring, and so width wise, I was like, I want to make that.
One of them.
That's what I want.
Yeah, I
what
want
Pops
that.
had.
Yeah,
Where
Pops, old man.
where is our estate sales the move for vintage jewelry? And obviously, like it's men's, women's, fluid, whatever. But like it's a little tougher to find, at least sizing wise, good vintage jewelry for men. But is estate sales the answer? Or where do you end up?
Yeah, I think it just depends on what you're looking for. Like I never go into any type of sale like being like, I'm getting jewelry today.
Yeah.
No plan.
I'm not getting I'm getting sunglasses. I'm getting hats today. I just go in, whatever I see, I'll grab.
Right.
I love that.
And if it's something I like, I'll take it. And whether it's men's, women's, doesn't matter.
So you run on
like,
impulse.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like most of my jewelry is like, this was probably
That's nice.
women's.
Yeah.
This one I've had forever, wedding band, vintage.
What about the Sunnies?
Oh yeah. What glasses?
Sunnies, Jacques Marie.
Ooh, of
Yeah.
course.
I know.
The one
It's tricky. What a fucking now it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
It's a status symbol
Yeah.
for sure.
Are you the type of guy where, and I'm
Now
not
it
saying
is,
positive or negative, but like once something blows up and becomes like the brand du jour, does that like make you kind of walk away from it a little bit, or do you not care?
It depends on what it is. I don't really care. If I like it, I like it, and I'm gonna wear it.
Right.
But it does like start to. Well, I move on pretty quickly, so
Really?
I'll
From specific pieces? Because you are kind of like low-key a uniform guy in a very interesting, unique way, I would say.
I'll like it's cyclical, right?
Yeah.
So like I'll like phase out of something fairly quickly, and then I'll bring it back within like a few months or something. But with brands where they get really, really popular, I think it's just is what it is. Yeah, sometimes it like the allure gets taken away and you stop wearing that for a bit, but then it's nice to bring it back out when everyone stops wearing that.
Yeah.
Because
Sure.
everyone moves on quickly too.
The hyper trend cycles are
Yeah,
out of
and then you
control.
bring it back and you're like, oh, this feels great again.
I think what's comforting is that most people, if they, let's say like a brand you love blows up, most people that are jumping on that wave dress like shit or make it look like fucking dog shit. So it's like, all right, you do that. You know, I'm going to have like the more low key JMMs that not like the fucking ones that everyone else is rocking.
Yeah.
You know, they don't scream JMM necessarily.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have a few that are very JMM, but I stick to these ones. The metal frames is where I'm at right now.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Light on his feet.
TSA.
Light on his
Yeah.
face.
TSA hates this guy.
Let's do the very interesting one of a kind drink check too.
Oh yeah.
This man brought his own straw and mug.
Beat it.
This was to share with you guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We
I'm
can
a little
share
sick,
this.
so I'm not going to partake, but
Yeah,
I
valid.
appreciate the communal nature of the
Yeah.
yerba mate
Yeah.
wooden bowl.
I had a Celsius and I don't want to heart attack myself personally. So
Oh, a Celsius guy.
yeah, big
Yeah.
Celsius.
Fizzy
guy.
drink.
I love it.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Oh, dude, only sparkling.
You're not a
Celsius.
soda man yourself?
I try not to, but I Celsius. Oh my God.
That's the best, dude.
What, it fucks you up?
I
or you
used to
love it?
drink like 3 a day.
Yeah, it's
Really?
liquid cocaine, dude.
I love it.
It rules.
I love it. Where I have to just not drink it. Otherwise,
Oh,
I
yeah,
need to
like-
cold turkey almost everything I do.
You're
I have a
addicted
lot
to
of
Celsius.
vices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do have a lot of vices.
Have had. Yeah.
Yeah.
Caffeine.
Caffeine for sure. Alcohol for sure. I don't drink anymore. That's been like 5 years.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's why you look so good.
Honestly, dude, for
and-
real.
And then what else do I cold turkey?
Sunlight.
I'll
You're
just-
addicted to sunlight.
Sunlight. Love sunlight. And
You're a plant, bro.
I just started eating meat again.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Was this because Amrit was like, yo, babe, like you got to fucking eat this steak? Like,
pretty much.
Put some meat
Stop
on
being
your
a fucking
bones.
pussy.
what was,
Um,
how's your reintroduction to meat been? Pause.
It's been great. The thing is that I stopped. So when I stopped drinking, I stopped with like everything. I stopped gluten. I stopped dairy. I stopped meat. I stopped like when Amrit met me, I was eating like quinoa and avocados. And she was like, dude,
Were you like
where
withering
the
away?
fuck what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Like what do you, and exactly like what do you do with that diet?
Yeah.
Especially when
not
you, like, go out,
much.
when you go out to eat.
Yeah.
I feel like
and
is that
Celsius, I was doing as well. So it's like, it's one of those things where I slowly introduced like all those foods back because I like got a weird stomach thing happen to me. And so
Right.
they're like, well, stop drinking because you're drinking too much and you have like something's up with your liver. My liver enzymes were like super high, skyrocket. And they're like, we got to figure this out. Stop. So I like stopped everything. I was like, I feel like shit. So I'm just going to cut everything else. And then I slowly introduced it all back. But, and then I was like pescatarian. And then it was like a month ago, we went out to see my parents out west for Frankie's birthday.
Happy birthday, Frankie.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Franks.
One trip around the sun.
Yeah. Right. Holy Toledo.
congrats on the sex, by the way.
Yeah. Congrats
yeah,
on the sex, brother. Confirmed.
Confirmed one time
Sex haver. Woo.
At least once.
Yeah.
At least once.
Yeah.
But okay, so you're out west with your
and-
parents.
And we, and then that's when I had a steak. And that was
You
like,
went straight to the fucking
Source.
mother load.
yeah.
You didn't like ease in with like chicken.
No, I'm only eating steak.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not eating chicken. I'm not doing burgers.
Okay.
I'm just going to do steak.
Damn, you're like Liver King, bro.
Kind of. Well, like I was dreaming about, dude, I was dreaming about steaks.
Really?
Yeah. And when it's in your dreams, you're like, well, I must be deficient in something.
Yeah.
And so
steak.
it's iron, it's steak.
Yeah.
So I was like,
mean,
I'm going to do it.
You can't wear the Harley Davidson leather vest and not be eating
Order a
steaks,
bowl
bro.
of
Yeah.
quinoa.
Yeah. Quinoa. No whiskey, no steak.
Yeah.
Quinoa. Yeah. Real badass.
Wheatgrass shot and a bowl of quinoa,
Yeah.
please. Like,
Thank
who
you.
the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
All right, so
next.
but you're sipping on yerba mate. This is
Yeah.
your current caffeine bev of choice with
Yeah.
the metal straw, with the wooden bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, I got into that when I was down. I'm gonna sound like a dick, but when I was down, I went down.
Don't worry, you got us to cover for you.
Yeah, I was down in South America, in Chile, and I got hooked on this shit.
Bro, it's the best.
Yeah, it's the best. Because that's all you do down there. You hike around, and we were up in the Andes, and
you just sit around with the homies and just pass the fucking Dutchie.
pass it around.
Yeah. When you texted us about the yerba, I thought you meant the brand Yerba Mate, and I was quite embarrassed. But you meant the real shit, not the fucking brand of
I was like, I think it
Bodega
means
delicious energy drink.
I think it means the Argentinian
It is
herb.
delicious though.
It's really good.
It's super bitter, right?
Yeah, it's really, really bitter, but fuck, it's so good.
And it jacks you up to the tits. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this podcast, John. First question. First statement. You have a belly button ring. Would you lose a bet? Like, how did this come up? How did this happen?
What the fuck?
It had to have been a bet.
Had to have been.
No, this was like one of this, I don't know, maybe like,
Is when you're drinking, obviously.
no, this is sober. This is sober.
Yeah, drunk off a medium rare ribeye.
This was, when did this happen? This was like third or second date with my now wife.
Yeah.
And we're like, let's go get belly button.
What a
pierced. I was like, great.
Whose idea was that?
I think it was mine. Yeah, I think it was mine. Or it was both of ours.
Right.
Yeah, it just evolved.
Is that when you know
And
she's the one?
Yeah,
When you get matching belly
When
button
you get it. Well, I got mine done.
And she's like,
What
you know what? Never mind. I'm good.
Yeah. Go
Good.
first, babe.
I'm good. Talk to you never.
But okay, you got yours done.
Well, because I didn't want a hoop. No, I wanted a hoop. I didn't want like those like studs that they put in.
Okay.
Right? So we had to bop around. We were on St. Mark's, I think. Yeah, it was St. Mark's. And we found a guy that was like, oh, I'll do a hoop.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, well, everyone said no hoop.
Yeah.
And
This is
he's
maybe
like,
a red
no,
flag.
it's fine. We're like, all right, let's do it. So we did that. And then she had hers done, but she hadn't worn one in a while. And so they went and we had to go across the street for that, where they like popped her old hole open.
Yep. The old hole pop.
On St. Mark's.
St. Mark's. Yeah.
He's actually the patron saint of hole popping.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. And so they did that. And this whole like, yeah, she's going to kill me, but this whole like chunk of shit comes out of it. It's wild.
Oh,
Kind of cool though.
God damn.
No,
Yeah.
My
The
wife had her belly button pierced and she took it out and like you get that buildup that you gotta evacuate.
Yeah.
Like lint, like belly button lint.
Kind of.
It's
but
like lint, earwax,
like skin.
It's like skin.
Oh man.
Yeah.
The human,
Smell. Speaking of smelling crazy,
Yeah.
like my man's hats, dude. That shit is nasty.
the human body is an amazing, amazing thing.
It really is.
So that's actually a very nice story.
Yeah.
My question though, John, as somebody that is like kind of always ahead of the curve when it comes to just like style swerves, I believe your former place of employment calls them. Are we about to see more belly button rings for the boys in these streets, you think?
Probably not.
No?
No.
You don't think so? Like,
I would. I mean, I think they're rad. And I think, if I was, I would recommend it.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe it will come around. It felt like it was coming around to me. And so I did it.
The vibes just felt.
Yeah, it just felt like,
I mean, crop tops
felt
are happening,
good.
right? So if you're a dude in a crop top,
Yeah.
and you're showing off, the abs, maybe
Crop tops,
throw some metal in there.
It'll happen.
guys kind of like leaning more femme with the jewelry. Like, why not? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other,
It's a good little accent.
fashion wise, what other freaky shit you getting into these days? Fashion wise.
Yeah.
You know, you're sunning your
Fashion-wise.
asshole.
I'm trying to think of like what I'm,
Like, what are you gravitating
Yeah,
towards?
like what's on your radar?
let's see.
Besides wearing 7 pieces
7
of
fucking
7
layers.
tops.
It's disgusting. I'm trying to find the right short.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what that short's
That
going to be for me.
or
what are
that
we?
material?
What are we currently at that we maybe are leaving behind?
As shorts salesmen, we need this information.
Yeah.
Well, you can
Yeah.
invoice us later, by the way.
yeah. Well, I mean, like jorts were big last year,
Right.
right? I felt like wearing a lot of those. And then it feels like it's more like a work short, like a faded out, either, like cotton. and
Sturdy though, still.
yeah, real crispy. But then once you wash it a lot, it'll get nice and like worn out, faded, and loose.
But with like the carpentry and the hammer loops and stuff.
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe cut those off.
Oh,
you know?
wow, okay.
Like chop your double knees, maybe.
Yeah, but no double knee.
Right.
No double knee short for me.
I guess it would just be a half knee.
Yeah, half knee.
How long? That's what I want to know is inseam. What are we feeling? Like, were you wearing big jorts or cutoffs?
I was wearing both, but I was wearing like big ones for a while, like 38-inch waist, like real oversized and cinching the belt.
Yeah.
And they were hanging like to the knee, below the knee, or like, you know, kind of sagging the shorts. But it feels like a little bit shorter is nice right now.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. So
6, 7
above
inches.
the knee.
Oh,
yeah,
what about-
7 or 8 maybe.
Yeah. What about like width wise? Because I feel like I've seen some pics of you hiking where you're wearing like work shorts, and I think they're like cords actually, like corduroy shorts, but they're like pretty like boxy. Almost.
Yeah. Oh, did they have pockets on them? Were they
I think
like
so. Yeah.
like mini?
I think they had a lot of pockets on
mini
them.
cargo
Yeah.
shorts.
Are those like Patagonia stand-ups?
Those
like,
are old. No, they're like the Patagonia stand-ups, but they were like an old. I don't know what they were called, but those were Columbia.
Okay.
Yeah. Old Columbia's fucking killer.
Is that like an untapped little pool that maybe the listeners could potentially tap
Set
into?
to
I don't know.
eBay
I would just dig in eBay for
Last
those.
week's guest was very into Montbell. He was like,
Yeah.
that's
Oh.
like an untapped
That's cool.
gold mine.
Yeah. I mean, also cool. But I like the old like Columbia stuff. Even like the nylon shorts with the drawstrings, kind of with like the Gramici poles on them.
Yeah.
You know, like those are great. And old REI branded stuff is fucking fantastic. I
Again,
love all that.
super
shit.
untapped because everyone knows like vintage Patagonia,
For sure.
even like, you know, Stone, Arc'teryx, everything.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like the vintage Columbia, vintage REI, that realm is like, has to be relatively untouched.
Yeah. Especially for like the shorts, like, you know, like Columbia jackets, all that stuff is like, that's whatever. But shorts are great.
Damn, this
Yeah.
is good fucking intel,
Yeah.
boys.
Or
Get your
like, you know,
notepads
the
out.
zip
Lady.
off. I like the zip off cargo pants.
Oh,
too.
shants.
Yeah, shants, great.
Fuck with Shants?
Oh, fuck with shants, heavy.
That's some freaky ass shit.
Yeah.
The
At a
secret, like-
moment's notice.
yeah.
Which is a little like, you know,
You want to
like,
see some shin?
right? Little like trancy club stuff, but like, I love that shit.
Mm.
And it is so nice.
The secret life of Shants.
I love that.
Tap
How
in,
would you?
kids.
I feel like your personal style is universally beloved, but it's kind of an enigma. Like if you asked us to describe your style, I think we would struggle with that. How would you describe your personal style? Do you hate this question?
No, I don't hate the question. I just don't know how to
Oh, thank
answer.
God. Oh, Jesus. My Lord.
I just don't know how to answer it really. I think it's just like it's a little eclectic. It's a little like I don't know how to describe it. It's whatever catches my eye at the moment, you know, and it whether it's new or it's old, or it's like I always like to mix like a high and a low, you know, but most of it is used.
Leans a little Western, I would say, like
Little Western,
Western worky
Yeah.
weary.
yeah. The I had those Wrangler, you know, the lowriders. The those they're like the poly pant that they
Oh,
the
sure.
5
like
pocket.
like flared a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Those are fucking fantastic. I
Good
wear
with the
those.
boot.
I wear those things to death.
Is that your most repeat worn article of clothing, or what? Like, what do you wear the most?
Maybe that pant wise, probably. Yeah, wear
They
that
can
pant.
easily be dressed up or down, which I think is they're
Yeah.
you know, versatile.
I was on a shoot. I was over in London just a few days ago, and I wore those. Well, I just brought that backpack and I filled whatever I could in that thing and went over there, and those were the pants that I brought, and so I wore them throughout the shoot, and like I don't know, like 5 people kept asking, like, "What are those pants?" I'm
Just
like,
Wrangler.
dude, there's just fucking Wrangler. Go on Amazon right now.
Yeah.
So like,
Well, maybe not
two of the-
Amazon, but yeah.
no, they sell them on Amazon.
No, I know,
Two of the models bought them.
Oh shit.
Really?
Yeah, and then like the makeup guy was like, "Oh, I hope you don't mind. I just bought those pants. And I'm
Wow,
like, dude, I could care less.
Damn.
Like, but
You
yeah.
just started a little. You
influencer.
just started a little micro trend in the UK, bro.
Right in that little-
Wow, that's how it happened. The
Cosm.
primordial ooze of being
Yeah.
on set.
This is like a cultural exchange. You know, this is
Yeah.
like why globalization is fire.
Yeah. One guy was like, oh, I used to like skateboard in those things. He's like, do you remember Jason Dill? He's like, yeah, I felt like he wore those all
Really?
the time. And I was like,
Wow,
Shout out
sweet.
Dill.
Dill.
that's fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
So
Dill.
when you wake up in the morning and you finish sunning your butthole and having your yerba mate and raising your daughter, like, and you're getting dressed, is it off of mood? To quote Seinfeld, is it off of like what I have to do today practically? Like, where are we at with form and function of just getting dressed as a fit god?
Yeah, I think it's just whatever feels right. I go into the closet and grab a bunch of shit and throw it on and then walk out, you know?
Nice.
But like some of it has to do with what's going on that day. Like, I don't know, this morning I went and took Frankie to swim class. And so we went down in like sweats and,
Right.
you know, a puffer because it's cold as shit. But yeah, you know, shuffled down there with like some Uggs on.
yeah,
Amrit ordered these Uggs for us. We're like,
We're
I was
matching.
like, can we just get some out, you know, like off the website? She goes, oh yeah, I'll get them. But she got them from Australia, where they like originated.
Right.
Right. So she's like, oh, I got the real thing.
Oh,
And I
That's
was
a
like,
bi-
great.
that's a
She's
big
like,
thing
but I
in-
think they're going to be here in like 3 months.
yeah, it's gonna be a
And
little
I'm
hot.
like, dude.
that's a big thing in the UGG community. Is like the whoever distributes them in the US uses like lesser premium qualities than like the OGs in Australia. Because I don't know if it's like a licensing deal or something, but like it's kind of different. It's like apples and oranges a little bit.
I think the Australian ones, are like real sheep's wool in there.
Yeah.
And then whatever's here is.
Or is she
maybe
just like an
some-
Australian nationalist or something? Like, I don't
Well,
know.
she is from Australia,
Exactly.
but
That's what she would know. I mean,
So-
even though they're going to come a little bit after UGG season, you got to trust her. She's from the source, dude.
she's
But
the
it's gonna,
source.
it's gonna be UGG season down in Australia when it's
Oh,
not.
Yeah, exactly.
true.
See?
There you go.
And
Yeah.
she got the ones that are, you know, what are they? The low top like Tasmans.
Tasman, yeah, it's my favorite.
Yeah,
That's my dog walking shoe of
Tasman's
choice.
great.
Yeah.
I love those. They need to do way more colors.
Mm.
You could do
You fucking tell him, man.
Mr. UGG, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Do you have any grails that you're
get me
still
in there.
hunting down after all these years of like perusing estate sales and buying clothes for yourself that are meant for covers and shoots and shit?
yeah.
Is there anything that like your white whale that you just have not been able to land just yet?
Let's see. I don't know if there is. I think it's clothing wise, not really. I don't have anything that's like up on the board, top of a list, being like, I need to get
Right.
that. It's like, it's whatever like feels right. Cause by the time I get that thing, I probably don't want it anymore. Or
Yeah.
it's not like as bright and shiny as I thought.
Yeah.
But
It's always greener on the other
it's
side.
always greener.
Yeah.
I think like, you know, when I was just over for the shoot, I was in this, like, there's just the street I just stumbled upon. We were looking for a restaurant and we just stumbled upon this massive like flea market that was going on in the streets. And it's like over there in London, it's like every rack was full of barber.
Mm.
Like,
Ooh.
you know,
Oh, I
and
saw
you're
this
like-
on your Instagram.
It's like, you know, you're in the UK when like the flea is just filled
Yeah.
with barber.
They're just trying
You
to,
know?
they can't give these things
No,
away.
they can't give them away. And they were so
more
cheap.
barbers than people.
They were
in
like
the UK.
60 pounds.
Cup
Is
of barber?
crazy. No, because I figured if I came home with one of those, it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I've too many of those, but I don't think you could have too many of those because
I
every
have
single
like
one
6 barbers.
are the best. And like the way that they're worn and like the wax that everyone puts on and like once they're like out used in the field or hunting or whatever it is, and they're all tattered.
And
But these
or
ones-
patched up, like, you
Patched
know.
up. That's what I was looking for. I was like, where are all these patches? Because some, you could tell the guy, whoever it was, like halfway down the arm, all of a sudden it just went to leather. And you're like, wow, this guy just sewed on a
he
leather.
was attacked, dude,
Yeah,
by
it's
a
like,
fucking rabid
He was
fox.
a falconer.
Yeah, he's a falconer. Let's just put some leather on here. Those are the ones that you want, you
Right.
know?
Oh,
So you're
yeah.
always looking for like the one of ones, not necessarily like the.
Yeah, something
Jean
a little
du jour.
obscure. You
Have
know?
you ever been seduced? Like, what's the most recent time you've been seduced into buying something bright and shiny where you're just like, wait a second, I fucking don't
Yeah.
want this anymore?
something new.
Something new. I'm trying to think of what that has been.
Like tailoring, maybe? Like You wearing vintage suits?
Yeah, vintage suits for sure.
Okay.
Because that's, you can just tailor those things up and make
True.
them however you want. You
Yeah.
know, if you want like a flare at the bottom, you do that and then you're done. I think like the new suits that are fucking looking super tasty is that Saint Laurent show. Looks amazing. Filled with suits.
YSL now.
YSL, exactly. Those look amazing for fall. And that's very like,
You're gonna indulge?
that's like some old like Armani style
Yeah,
shit.
for sure.
What?
You're gonna give Tietz a little taste?
Yeah, I would for
indulge?
sure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That shit's expensive, bro.
Yeah. No, I need to
No.
try and track down like a friend price.
Yeah, but
I can't afford that
But
shit.
Vaccarello will be snapping. I mean, like that shit is.
No, it looks great.
with even like the overcoat, like that, like the full to the floor duster.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
shit
No,
is crazy.
Amazing. And like
Vamp life.
those colors and the browns that he was using in there, all
Yeah.
those like
It was
dusty
very
muted
Armani.
tones.
I agree with you in the
sure.
best possible way, as
but with like a
compliment.
strong shoulder. So it was damn, very nice.
Yeah. Well, John, from the runway to the real, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. We always, I don't know if you know this, but like in the Throwing Fits extended universe, which ranges far and wide, you are constantly cited as one of the most stylish, like quote unquote, real guys.
Yeah.
You know, not like fucking celebrities can't dress. We know that. But there are like dudes, homies, etc., that we always turn to for inspiration, us and the followers and the listeners at home. Who else do you think should be on the list of like most stylish, just real guys? Let's call them.
Real guys.
Yeah.
They could work in the industry.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Like last week we had someone else that I think is on the list, Jesse Hudnut,
Yeah.
who's also a vintage guy. I put Jason Ryder on there, for example. Aaron Levine,
Of course.
definitely on there.
Well, Levine for sure.
Yeah.
Homie.
Yeah.
Love.
But is there anyone on there that like, I don't know, you look at it and you're just like, damn, this guy's fucking killing it, even if they're not, again, like a
Who's
celeb.
inspiring you?
Well,
I mean, obviously,
Legend.
myself and James, but other than that,
have you guys haven't ever talked to Cortina, George Cortina, have you?
no. But I mean,
Be awesome.
what a goat.
Get fucking Cortina.
Next time we're at the chateau.
Yeah.
yeah, next
Pull up.
you just do this in
Yeah.
the chateau in his room.
Yeah.
And he'll be probably like in his underwear. Yeah,
Which is the most stylish thing you can wear, right?
he's incredible.
Yeah.
I think he has like some of the like most exquisite taste out of anyone. And the way he styles and just the way he like carries himself, the
Mhm.
jewelry that he wears, he's got a crazy eye. I don't think it gets much better than him.
Does he like directly influence your style, or are you influenceable?
Oh, he
That's a word.
influences my like sensibility for sure.
Right.
You know, he's like extremely thoughtful on like everything he does and how things go together. And yeah, I take notes from him all day long.
Yeah,
you
he's a
know,
goat.
any shoot I've been on with him has been like the best shoot I've ever been on. You know,
Yeah.
you know, it's wild. He's like so fucking talented.
Right.
He's dialed,
Yeah,
as they say.
yeah.
George
very
Cortina,
dialed.
legend for sure.
Mhm.
Legend.
How do you go about finding inspiration? Is it just kind of browsing or like having that eye, that lens over all things in life, not just like clothing or shopping?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really I don't like follow the shows all that much. I think like I'll check in every now and then and just the line of work that I'm in, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't religiously like hound Vogue runway and
of the
see what
paywall.
everyone's doing.
Yeah.
You know,
He ran out of
What?
free articles.
Because of the paywall.
No, it's ridiculous, dude. That thing is trash. Fucking trash.
It's a bad user experience.
Every
for sure.
year they revamp it. And you're like, what?
I gotta
They
sign in
revamp
again.
How do you make
Yeah, this
it
is
worse?
terrible.
It gets worse every year.
I got to sign in every 10 looks. Like, what's going on here?
Christ.
Pop-up ads and shit.
But okay, so it's not the shows necessarily.
Yeah,
It's not the shows, but it's more just like real shit, you know, and being out on the street and walking around and seeing what everyone's wearing. You
Touch
know?
and grass.
Has
Yeah,
moving to
touching
New
grass.
York in the last, 6-ish months?
Yeah.
And you were here before, but like,
Yeah.
has coming back here from LA during like the COVID era, have you felt more inspired than ever from just being able to be out on the street?
Oh, for sure. Like, you know, in LA, you're not around people, you're not around strangers, you know, and I love being around just strangers, people I don't know. And you can't watch anyone, take any notes on anyone
Right.
if you don't see anyone. So getting back here, it was like a breath of fresh air. Out there, it felt like retirement. I'm like, yo, I'm
Yeah.
not retired by any means.
Right.
And I'm like hungry and I want to like know
Restless.
what's happening. I want to know like what everyone's doing, you know?
Yeah.
Puts a batter in your back. That's the beauty of this city. The streets are our runway.
And when I lived here before going to LA, I always lived in the East Village for the most part. And East Village is fucking great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Never
and
changed.
like St. Mark's is amazing.
Great belly
what
button
you
piercing
see
right
down
here.
there is, I mean,
The crustiest.
that's
of
all you
punks.
need to see.
Right.
You know, thousands of ideas right there.
Yeah.
Do you, besides the sunshine, is there anything about LA you do actually miss?
Oh, for sure. Like the vintage there is crazy.
Like the
not to like
bins?
talk about vintage too much,
No, it's
but
fine.
like
You're an expert.
it's very hard to replicate what is going on out there with vintage. It's like
With like the all-star stores, like 194 local varsity, or like everything.
I'm less of like going to curated spots. I'm more like I want to get in, like dig through boxes.
Right.
Go to a warehouse.
I want to go
somewhere.
through a warehouse and I want to just like dig for a day.
Yeah.
And pull like as much as I can, or whatever I see that's good. But now also the stores out there too. It's like in the fleas out there, like Long Beach and
Rose Bowl.
Topanga. Rose Bowl is crazy. Which one did we like a lot? It was Pasadena City College was really good.
Is that your number one?
Yeah, I think overall that's probably the number one. I found so many heaters there. It's like outdoors, and then they also take over a parking ramp that they just like you circle around and you just go to every floor and it's littered with shit. But
They have drive-by vintage picking in LA.
Stop.
Yeah. But that, I think that's the one thing I miss. Like Amrit and I will talk about that all the time. It's like, it just doesn't compare to out there. Here you can stumble into some spots and there's good spots. Like I went over to Stella Dallas before I came here just because I knew I'd be close. So I went and like picked through stuff. They're great. They're like, obviously
Institution.
They've become super popular.
Should go to Fantasy, just 2 blocks away.
Fantasy's also great.
Shout Kev.
There's what's hers? Have you been to Baby Blues out there? The cafe?
No, where's it?
It's over East Williamsburg, Baby Blues, and then next to it, his girlfriend or his partner, she has a vintage shop out there called fuck, I'm gonna butcher it. I think it's like Collar
Daddy?
Collar Daddy? Yeah. Colladada.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Anyways, it's great. I'm butchering the name, but
You like the
it's
hunt,
a good
though.
one. Yeah. And even like Chickies is great.
Yeah. Shout out
Love
Kathleen.
fucking Chickies.
Chickies is the best.
Yeah. But if you go to 10 Foot Single, your average person can go in there and be like, I know what trends are going on right now.
Right.
They're so fucking dialed on the trends where every other month they'll do a rotation. You're like, oh, that is happening right now. That is
a
happening
little
right
refresh.
now. Yeah, it's great. They're really good at it.
What were you more than happy to leave behind in LA?
Besides retirement.
Retirement. Holy
The illusion of
shit.
retirement.
The illusion of retirement. Yeah. I don't want to have to get in. I mean, this is probably what everyone says, but I don't want to have to get in a car every fucking time.
Yeah.
I want to go like explore something. You know what I'm saying? It's like we ended up in the hills, and it was like once we had Frankie, you're like, whoa, we are super isolated up here. And we don't see anyone other than our neighbors and like these coyotes that are like
trying to eat your baby.
Yo, literally everywhere in our yard, there was coyotes and mountain lions. Like one day, mountain lion came down.
God damn.
And like I could see it out the side of our window. I saw this mountain lion fucking coming through. I'm like, what? And then I knew that Amrit was coming up the stairs from the street. We had a ton of stairs at this place. And she was coming up with Frankie on her chest in a harness. And I was like, yelled out the window. I was like, stay down there. I run outside. By that time, the thing like had
There's
run
an
off,
apex
but
predator. Please do not.
they're
move.
everywhere out there. It's wild. Like right out of our kitchen door was like
scary, dude.
coyotes and shit.
Yeah.
And like P21, rest in peace. But this one mountain lion was like roaming everywhere.
Yeah.
But now that P21 died, all these other animals are like, oh, he's gone. Like
Time to rock,
when you
dude.
cut the head off a snake, right?
Yo.
It's like U.S. Foreign policy, you know?
The biggest guy in the yard just got taken down.
Yeah.
It's about to be a fucking riot.
Yeah, rager. Yeah.
Well, I want to go back to your personal style, which again is like this enigma that we love. That being said, John, you can't shoot 10 for 10 from the field. What's a personal style phase of yours that you look back on and really makes you cringe?
Oh, I've had so many. But I don't know if it's like cringy, but I've gone through a lot of phases. And I think in high school,
there's this one.
I was wearing a lot.
We got visual evidence.
Oh, dude.
It's like,
What year is that? What's
2014?
Not that long ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago?
Bro. I mean, I was
Yeah.
right there with you, but
You're-
that's a bummer. Dude.
Yeah,
You're
that's
I'll just say you were dressing for the job you wanted.
with like that was wild.
This was
But-
a
All right, we're
product,
gonna need that pic
yeah.
for IG.
No, do not use
This
that.
is a
Is
product of the times.
deadly.
Yeah.
Product of the times. I love those shoes though.
Really?
Not with the pants.
Right, and maybe some socks would be nice.
Yeah.
Isn't
Isn't that no, those were Barker Black.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I loved Barker Black. The two brothers,
Yeah.
Derek and Kirk Miller.
That's they don't exist anymore.
No. Well,
Miller's
Barker,
Oath?
Barker exists in the UK, but Barker Black doesn't
Well,
exist.
did he do not Miller's Oath? What was
Yeah.
the Miller's Oath?
I worked for that. I
Oh,
worked
shit.
there.
Oh,
That,
okay.
I was working there at that.
Got it.
at that time.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Your product, that's a
But
product.
that's the I don't know what the site is, but it's like GQ hires Jon Tietz is like
Oh, yeah.
that's like the article.
Yo, and that picture was used. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You're going to use that thing?"
Am I still do I still
Like,
have a
how
job
do you
here?
take things off the internet?
Next article, GQ
Yeah.
fires Jon Tietz.
Yeah. Exactly. Cuts his teeth. Done.
Yeah. What's the phase that you look back on your goddamn? Like, what was I thinking? Or maybe was I brainwashed?
Well, now that you bring that fucking
Yeah.
picture up,
You're talking
that
about
was
high school
pretty
before
brutal.
we got sidetracked.
Yeah.
Shitting all
High
over
school.
you.
I don't like look back. I don't really like regret like whatever style was happening in my head or what I thought was good.
You were a child.
Yeah. But like I was wearing a lot of like Carl Kanai.
Oh,
Like,
fire.
yeah, I was ordering everything. I have two older brothers, right? So I always look up to what they were doing,
Yeah.
and like back then, I was born in 83. So like they're like 5 and 6 years older than me. So they, when like Abercrombie was huge and everything was super oversized and made super well, like beautiful. I'd see old pictures of me like wearing these sweaters that were like down to my fucking knees. But to me, I was like, oh, that's great. My brothers are wearing it. I'm wearing it.
Yeah.
But
Co-signed.
but I was ordering everything off of Eastbay.
Yeah. The
'cause,
best.
Yeah. At that time, you're like ordering everything on phone, and just calling these people and paging through these magazines every time they come. You're like, oh, dude, I need.
When that catalog hit, dude, that was like
That was
That's
crazy.
like better. That's like what now you just get scrolling IG. Like when you didn't have that.
No, but
Eastbay
that
was the
Eastbay
shit, dude.
was.
You can't dog your
irreplaceable.
Instagram.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Eastbay, CCS, any mail order catalog was
CCS,
just, if you
all
like
of that.
clothes, like the best.
yeah, the best. Were you guys into like skateboarding or?
I was a poser, but I was super into
not
it.
skateboarding well.
Yeah.
I was into skating for a little bit, and then like my board got stolen, so then I moved on to like rollerblading.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That
was
fruit
amazing.
booting, as they said.
Yeah.
Fruit boot.
Pejoratively.
How was
Yeah, it's
how was
great.
how was that for you?
I loved it. It
Yeah?
was so.
How
nice.
big were
Bring
your
it back.
hands?
Why
We
don't
had
you bring it
such
back?
a crew. We were like in this little town of Excelsior in Minnesota, and like every day you just be like, you just blade in,
Yeah.
and you go meet your fucking buddies, and then
Did
you
you-
go like jump stairs and rails, and everyone had like their Majestic 12s on and like wearing Senate and all this.
Yeah.
Did you get any of the brain dead fucking inline skates that Kyle just put out with like the actual what I don't know the skate company?
Was it K2 or what was it?
Probably
like-
K2, like what's
It was
like
some it was some
K2
more like
Fatties
head
or
shit. It was
something
like,
like
what's that?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know, but anyway, if you want to get into it,
Rosie?
something like that. If you want to get
Rosie's,
back
I had
into it,
those.
I mean, especially with Frankie, maybe roller skating when she's old enough.
Yeah.
Sure.
Shin guards,
Um,
fucking wrist guards,
Yeah.
helmet, elbow
Yeah.
pads.
Knee
but
pads for either when you're tiling or skating.
Yeah, right.
Amazing. Or gardening.
John, what is it going to take for you to start posting fit pics on Instagram and sharing your sauce with the rest of the world? I know that right now it's very lovely. It's a wedding photo, it's a baby photo, and
Sponcon's
and
Pretty
two SponCon-
sad. It's pretty sad.
and 2 pieces of SponCon.
You know
But
who
is the-
posts it? What
Is the SponCon going to be like it breaks the dam, and all of a sudden we get to see more fit pics of you?
maybe, but I have a hard time doing that stuff.
Do you
it's
not
like
like
not my fucking wheelhouse,
Yeah.
you know? Like it's just not my wheelhouse
You're
to
too
post
humble.
Yeah, maybe. Or like I'm not like, I don't think anything of it. Like I don't think like anyone would want to see that, you know?
Okay, well, that's not true, but
But
Well, you're a humble Midwestern boy.
yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think it'll
I mean, honestly,
probably
if you
ever
want to
happen.
see Tietz fits, you follow Amrit. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I mean, you should follow Amrit for other
Yeah.
reasons, obviously, but if you want to see this guy,
If you want to make
Yeah.
Lawrence a very happy man, though, you will start posting fit pics of yourself. I'll tell you that. This is your number one
'Cause you're not-
man crush,
'cause you-
Trevor, by the way.
because you're
Yeah,
not
right here.
Right
gatekeeping.
Yeah.
No,
Because you're not, because that's the thing. It's not like, oh, I don't want to share. It's just like,
no,
not
I would
your
never
vibe.
gatekeep. I that like doesn't, it's not in my vocabulary. Like I want to share everything, you know, because whatever, no one owns anything.
What about using Instagram as like a portfolio for your work, or is that not something you necessarily need at this
I
point
mean,
in your career?
Well, no, you can always use it. And I probably should have a long time ago, you know,
You could
because
start,
like,
you could start with this.
yes,
start
let's
right
go
now.
back, dude. Let's
Yeah.
archive.
yeah, I'm going to start there. The do's and don'ts, put socks
Yeah.
on, fuck it. But yeah, no, I'm like,
So
yeah.
you're lazy, or you're just not? No, I'm kidding.
So you're lazy. No, I just, I don't know. I have a hard time just throwing things up. I probably overthink most of it, you know, whereas I mean, I'm rarely on that thing. I'll troll for sure.
Mhm.
Cause like, I want to know what's going on.
For sure.
But I'm like less inclined to like post things of myself.
Yeah.
But
You don't make it about- you don't make it
stuff,
about you.
Yeah. But like work stuff, I probably should post more because I probably help with getting more work.
Yeah.
That's usually how it works.
And like,
Yeah.
feed Frankie.
But at this point, your name, I mean, you have like your reputation almost not doesn't precede yourself, but it's like you have a reputation in the network, no? Like people know your work.
yeah. Yeah.
But it's always can't hurt to fucking
Yeah, no,
build it out even
can't
further.
hurt. But
Right.
like, yeah. It's
Well-
just been word of mouth.
I want to ask you this. You somewhat recently went freelance, right? Somewhat
Yeah.
recently? Okay. What are the pros and cons of being a gun for hire versus being a full-time desk jockey?
I like both.
Okay.
I like both. I'm like right in the middle of contemplating going back in-house somewhere.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah. Because working on the magazine, I was there for like 10 years
Yeah.
and it was amazing and got hired by, you know, great Jim Moore. And saw like the rise in the fall of like the old pillars, you know,
Right.
and then like the young crew, we rose up and like we stuck around and made some big changes with the magazine.
Digital transformation, social media.
completely, you know, and got nimble with like, you know, advertising wasn't always there. So like
Right.
we had to, you know, figure out how to fund the magazine, you
Right.
know, but
Pivot.
pivot and stay with the times. But I love being in an environment like that because it's fast paced, you know, and like I was, after being there for like 10 years, you're a machine,
Yeah.
you know? So you're doing a shoot every single week or, well, obviously multiple shoots every single week, you know? And like you're working 3 months out and you're trying to stay on ahead of the curve. And like no longer is the magazine like necessarily like an authority anymore. You got to like dig deeper and
Right.
like figure out how to capture that audience. But nonetheless, so that was great. But like that fast pace, I needed a break from, you know? So I stepped back when we moved to LA and then I started consulting and that's been like fantastic because then you get to pick out like brands that you want to work with.
Yeah.
And it's not like with the magazine, you're working
Right.
with
Who's
hundreds,
advertising
thousands,
and all that shit.
advertising,
Yeah.
some small stuff, but
I think what people don't realize is stylists do have to kind of play like politics where it's like appeasing the advertisers, working with like what is actually not even on trend, but like will be the trend, right?
for sure.
Who are the celebrities?
Yeah, who are they?
Ad-
Brand
partners.
ambassadors?
No,
for, you know?
totally.
Yeah.
And like, you know, sometimes
And you got to make that work
you're
within
not
all these
that-
parameters.
Yeah. And sometimes you're not super over the moon over certain
Yeah.
talent and others. I mean, I like most people, but like, you know, with advertising, it's like you got to sprinkle it in there because you got to pay the bills, you know?
You got to play the fucking game.
Yeah. So
dude.
like, you
Like
know, if
anything
you
else.
see a shoot and, you know, some of the things seem a little dicey,
Mhm.
it's not always because of, sure, like your creative control, you'd probably rather not have gone and done a few things, but you also got to pay the bills.
Yeah.
So it doesn't always look as pretty
Right.
When you got to do that. But if you figure out that like special sauce and that formula, you can make most things look good.
Yeah,
you know?
find that sliver in the middle of that Venn diagram for sure.
Yeah.
Find your lane. Sweet spot.
But yeah, I think like consulting too has been fucking great. You know,
More time at home with
more
the,
time
with
at
the family.
home, and which has been amazing, especially when like Frankie, she's one now. It's
Protecting
like,
your family from fucking big cats.
Yeah.
no, that's hunting
More
the big
time
cats
to
out there.
podcast.
What if you're in the
all that
office?
good
What if
shit.
you're in the office that day? You know,
Yeah.
what could happen?
Yeah.
We don't even want to imagine what could
No,
happen.
we don't want to think about that. But yeah, but now, you know, that schedule too is like also crazy. And like when you're both freelancers, you're like, whoa, like our schedules are all over the place. And next thing you're like flying out next week and coming back and then flying out and then the following week. And you're like, well, that's why I tried to get away from.
You're like, I'm burned out again.
Now I'm like, now with the right brand, I'd like to go back in-house.
But you go
probably.
brand, not necessarily media, preferably.
I don't think I go media. Media can't. I mean, when it comes down to it, they can't pay enough.
Yeah. That's fact.
It's just like they don't have the
Budgets.
budgets for that. But I would go to a brand, and most likely, like big box stuff. Like
Okay.
I would love to go to like, you know, Targets of the world, things
Big
like
box, big bags.
Big bags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that, have you put feelers out, or is this kind of like for anyone listening? Like, is this you being like, yo, I'm available?
Yo, if Sam Walton's listening,
Sam Walton, come on, baby. Yo, Bezos. You already got a shout out earlier. So
yeah.
No, feelers have been out, and
Nice.
I'm talking with a few.
So you want that structure? You
but-
want that?
Yeah, the
healthcare,
structure.
You want that
Yeah.
401k
For real. And like structure's good. And you know, now more than ever, like people are going into the office 3 days a week.
Right.
You work remote the rest. That's good.
Do you want to go big box because you feel like you can help, like turn the cruise ship of like the most mass, the most lowest common denominator brands towards like better aesthetics, or is it just like they just pay the most?
No, like the pay is whatever, but it's the first part. It's
Affecting
like
change.
it's affecting change. It's
like
and it's the
fucking-
masses. Like
That's
that's
why Kanye went to Gap.
yo, masses is fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's also like a real challenge too. It's like
It's almost harder than going into Gucci and be like, all right,
Yeah.
most
Yeah, 'cause,
expensive
like,
shit,
yeah.
more leather.
great. Hermes, like making it super expensive.
Do we have more Birkins?
Sold. Yeah. So it's like that like to me it seems easy, you know?
Right.
It's like the challenges are the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Where it's like, how do you make this cool?
What was your most memorable moment, though, going back to the GQ days of clocking in the gleaming ivory tower of Condé Nast? Just the content HQ.
Yeah. Like, was
Was
it
it
like a celeb? Like, you're not a star fucker, obviously, but like, did you get to work with
Not
someone?
so
like,
much, but like everyone I worked with was fantastic. You know, like we never had any like people were like, God, this fucking douchebag, you know? Like
It was
everyone-
you. They just didn't tell you. It was
Yeah,
behind
no,
your
it's
back.
me. That's probably why.
If you can't spot the douchebag in the room.
I might have just broken this fine, but I think like no, it's like the crew that I was working with over there was like the highlight of working at GQ. Like my boy Mobilaji was just like
goat.
Another real
dude.
style goat, dude. Come on.
also top of list.
Yeah.
Top of list.
Untouchable.
Amazing. No, I love Mobilaji to death. And like we're like
And another kind of gun for hire,
The
right?
best.
He's not
Yeah.
full-time necessarily.
yeah,
but
yeah.
like-
He's like at large now there
Right,
with the
right, right,
magazine.
right.
So he's still doing a lot. I mean, I'm still working a lot with the magazine as well.
Right.
But he's like, I miss the days of he and I would just fucking cook and we like fuck around
Yeah.
and we'd like do a bunch of shit we weren't supposed to do. But we got our shit done. And like the thing is like Will knew that we were getting our shit done. We're like on top of it, but we also like have a good time.
Right,
You
right,
know?
right.
And then that trickles down to like everyone that works with you and
Sure.
not below you, but with you. And
A rising
that's like
tide.
that's a healthy environment
shit.
Yeah,
because the
for
old
sure.
environment's fucking wild.
Yeah.
You
the
know?
ivory tower vibes that I'm sure were there. Like,
Those were
yeah.
wild days. And
Yeah.
like, it's changed for the better for sure.
With your styling, do you have a process that you typically follow, or is it kind of a different flow every time, like dependent on the project?
It depends on the project. It's like editorial's a whole nother beast in itself. And so that has a lot to do with who's the photographer,
Right.
what's like, put out some mood boards and start like ideating on like what we want the aesthetic to be. Where is it going to be shot? Who's the talent? Talent, when it comes to editorial, talent dictates a lot. you know, because you're like,
talent.
this motherfucker is not going to be able to wear shit, you know, or this person like, yo, let's run with this one because he's or she is great. And like they can put on anything like a model and it'll be amazing. They have swagger to nth degree. But like, and then, you know, other projects where it's like working with brands like, you know, like some projects that Aaron and I have worked on, like with New Balance, it's like, it's a little bit different because it's not dictated by talent by any means because you're just working with models, and aesthetically it's like a curated collection, but obviously we go out and hunt vintage and mix that with those ones, which I think allows that to like bring life to that collection and make it, you know, show people how to wear it, make it wearable, you know?
With NB specifically, like you and Aaron also hopped in front of the camera. Is that something that like you think is part of the repertoire now, or do you prefer not to do that?
That like, no, I don't think you have to do that. And like, I usually don't. That was just like, they like called an audible and were like, yo, you want to, we got him here. We want two old fucking dudes in here. You in? And
two models didn't show up. You guys,
yeah. You guys, So,
but you don't prefer to do that.
No. It's
that's
like,
that humble
it's not
Midwestern boy.
It's not my bag.
Yeah.
But like Aaron and I fucked around for a day, did that. It was great. We had a good time. We did it for like TED.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're ideating or mood boarding and put the photographer aside, put the talent aside, put the, I don't know, general assignment aside, like, do you find yourself being like gravitating towards any specific subcultures or moments in time that you just are drawn to time and time again? What are those?
For sure. Like, you know, I mean, it just kind of depends on what the shoot's going to be. You know,
you reference like the Stones in the south of France, like for cutting an album as like, you're like for a project, you're like, that's like what I kept going to.
Oh yeah. I mean like that. And a lot of people have like referenced that whole like era, which is amazing.
But are there other moments in like pop culture history that again, you just are drawn to?
Pop culture also, you know, like films too, for sure, like dictates a lot. Like some films is just like, it's crazy what they were able to like accomplish, you know, and whoever was doing the costume designs, you're just like, blows you away. But, you know, I'm trying to think of, you know, it depends on the talent too. Like, was it Justin Min that I did one shoot where that whole thing was like, that was a few years ago, and it was all like straight out of like Hackers, you know, and that felt like really good at that time, you know, like Vans and
just Dime Square,
Vans and jackets with like Adidas like breakaways, you know,
filmed at my high school.
That really, that felt great, you know. So like that film to me, when they were like, "You're going to do Justin Min," I was like, "Great, let's do this." You know,
I believe that's the first ever instance of a Supreme box logo on film. Because one of the laptops, like much like my embarrassing laptop,
just covered in fucking streetwear stickers.
Yeah, in Hackers. Wait, I want to talk real quick about, you mentioned costume design, John. That's something that, correct me if I'm wrong, you've dabbled in a little bit. Have you worked on any films, feature films?
No.
TV? Am I bugging?
No TV.
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
Would you want to?
I would for sure, because that was like styling is fine. It's like something I am good at or I can do, and I enjoy it, but it's also like not my number one thing, you know?
What's your number one thing?
I think my number one thing would be like getting in with a brand and just like building it from ground up, or from wherever they are right now, and growing with that brand, you know? And that's from like creative direction, art direction, to all like brand identity, yada, yada, yada. But
that so 360 holistic kind of take.
Because styling, you can only do that so much, you know? It's like, you get kind
Before
of
you
like,
end up just fucking ensconced at the chateau.
Yeah.
Yo, wild.
Yeah, if you do it enough, you end up like George Cortina. Not a bad life.
No, not at all.
Legend. He figured it out.
I think, is he like the only permanent resident there now that it's a fucking club?
No,
basically?
he lives nearby. He doesn't live there anymore.
Okay.
He doesn't live
They
there
kicked his ass out.
Yeah.
To make room for John Mayer's girlfriends.
Wild. Yeah,
I think
he's having like a bunch of threesomes or what?
I think one of my favorite instances of your work is the Brad Pitt shoot, where he's fucking where you guys like it was.
Where's in water?
The Ryan
It was
McGinley
like-
one.
Oh, McGinley. That was Mobilaji though.
It wasn't. Oh,
Yeah.
my
Fuck.
bad. Psych.
Wait, I
Oh,
thought we
fuck.
did the research on this.
No, we didn't.
No, so here.
How's it work?
Mobilaji did that was the first time while we were there that we shot Brad, and that was for GQ Style. Mobilaji did that. They took Brad to like 3 national parks and like shot in like White Sands and all over the place. That was with McGinley. And then the second time was with Cortina did that.
Okay.
With
And-
the twist tie in the front.
Yeah,
famously.
famous. That was amazing. That
We're
was
just kind of referencing his like 2000 photo shoot where he's like wearing skirts and shit and like ID or something. I don't know.
yeah, that shoot was one of my favorites for sure to be a part of.
The Cortina one.
With the Cortina one. And then the third time is when I did it. And
Okay.
that was with Elizaveta shot that. And
That's
we
what I'm
shot
talking
that one in LA. And that was in studio, but we did, major like set build outs for that where like he was like floating in lily pads.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the one that I did.
Apologies, we got our wires crossed. A lot
It's
of
okay, it happens.
But he's
nature elements.
in the shoot that you styled, is he not like kind of wearing like more like gender fluidy stuff?
yeah, for sure.
And at that time, that was like relatively speaking, pushing the envelope for that time, right? Was he
Yeah.
receptive to this, or did you have to like kind of convince him to really push the envelope?
So it's tricky, right? Because when these shoots come out, we're always like, whatever, 3-4 months out, right?
Yeah.
And so when they do eventually come out, or even longer, but there's like so much context that the reader from the outside doesn't know what happened there. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
the thought behind everything, building the sets, the interaction with talent, and how like everything evolved that day, right? So all you see is these images, and it's like, oh, you either like it or you don't like it, which is great, and that's what it's there for. Brad's incredible, and he fucking just goes for it. And if he believes in what you're doing and where you want to take it, he gives you that like creative control. And obviously it's like a collaborative thing. And so like with that one, he was like, he's like, we always usually fit the day before and shoot the following day. And so we fit him at his house, and it's like like 3 hour fitting, and we just go through everything and we start building. You start building, and then you get a rhythm, and you find like a happy place. And it got very, I wouldn't say like charactery, but kind of, where there was like things were a little more like fluid, and things, aesthetically it was like definitely pushing the envelope of just like a normal shoot, right? Not just putting them in like an Armani suit,
Sure.
So we went there as like colors and silhouettes and
Does that appeal to him, you think, because he's an actor and like that's scratching the itch of being a character?
Yeah. And he didn't want to be, he didn't want to just like do what everyone else does. Right. So he's like, let's go for it, and let's have fun with this. And so, there's like a lot of images that didn't make the cut. And then there was a lot that did. And I think he was like super happy with that. And I was happy with it. It was cool, but it was like unique, like, because most people want to see Brad and they're like, oh, well, they want to see him, like superstar, like
Right.
Put him in a suit.
put him in a suit, and that's fine. But then there's a flip side to that. And
Yeah.
like, let's have him floating in water.
Make him a little, make him a little zesty.
Yeah.
Dude. Put some
And you know
fucking
how I found out-
seasoning on this beautiful
and-
white man.
And I'm glad that we finally got to arrived at like the 3 Brad shoots, the one that you stopped. You know how I found out that it was you? Not from your Instagram, from Amrit's Instagram. 'Cause she was like, my fucking hubby.
Your better half.
Yeah,
My better
exactly.
half, ride or die.
Is he your favorite celebrity to work with?
Yeah, I've worked with a lot of good ones, but I think overall he's amazing.
Who else is
Yeah.
up there that you just love partnering up with?
Well, I mean, I've had like good connections with a lot, but there was one with Steve Buscemi. Was wild.
Goat.
What a goat. And he was
of yours, no?
He was great.
Relatively?
Yeah, he was over that way.
Yeah.
He was cool. And it was one of those periods where like he had just lost his wife like not that long ago from when we shot, and he was just kind of like coming out of his like shell from going through all of that. And so the shoot was like a unique thing where like he was very soft spoken and just like, but extremely nice and just like legendary. I mean, the films that that guy's been in is crazy.
Yeah, sometimes the stylist is also a therapist, man.
Truly. So yeah, we threw him in some Celine. It was great.
Yeah. That was sick. I know exactly what you're talking about. That was fire.
Yeah, that
Who are
was
the biggest asshole celebrities you've had to work with?
Divas.
Let's
Dude.
name them.
I don't honestly. I don't have any fucking juice. I don't have any tea for that because like.
Is that because you're just the best guy and everyone's like, all right, like I'm not going to be a dick around this beautiful Midwestern boy.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what it is, but I haven't run into any assholes.
You never worked on like a Nicki Minaj shoot then, I guess. Or something.
Yeah, never.
Good luck with the barbs, buddy.
Fuck.
No, everyone's.
My name's Lauren Schlossman.
No.
Hey,
So you've been lucky in that regard, where everyone has been like
super lucky. Yeah.
Also, I think that assuming that most of the work is done with GQ, it's like, yo, you're at the fucking like this is your Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. Everyone comes like pretty like geared up and like
Gentlemen's
excited.
Quarterly, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. I mean, there's not too many magazines left, you know?
No, there aren't.
No, there aren't.
At least ones too that like balance that like for the masses type of thing. There's a lot of like fashion mags out there, but
speaking of rare breeds, you've done some work with the Yoda of menswear, Aaron Levine, a name that's come up a few times now. What's the best piece of wisdom that the God has bestowed upon you?
Oh man,
where to begin?
Where to begin? I mean, the guy's got
one.
wisdom just flows out of him.
Yeah. Can't help it.
And the beard to match.
No, the beard to match. My God, and the sunglasses on all the time. You know, you can't see his eyes. It's just a man of mystery. I'm trying to think of what he's bestowed upon me.
Or like something that's
I learned from
like,
Aaron every fucking time I talk to him. You know what I'm saying?
Osmosis.
Yeah, and it's always like it's always a FaceTime. It's never just like a call,
right?
You know, so
it's actually mad annoying, Aaron.
It's like
that happened to me last weekend. I'm like, bro,
he's like a rapper.
He's like a rapper. And he can be doing anything,
I can't.
you know, and he'll call you up, you know, and he's like, you know,
what's up? I'm driving to see the fucking dead.
No, or he's like laying down, or he's driving, or he's like
shrooms. You available to FaceTime?
He's like talking with the cows out there in Ohio. Yeah, no, he's amazing. I think like every time I talk to him, there's something I learn from him. You know,
that's beautiful.
And I think it's just like his thoughtfulness.
That's big bro, dude. That's
crazy.
Bro.
Yeah,
it is
big bro.
He inspires for me at least. I'm always just like, I should be a better person. Like,
no, I know.
So positive.
He is. Yeah,
I need to hang out with him more.
No, so positive and so like in tune and just like dialed and so like calm. Right. You know, he like calms me.
We have another friend like this. Our shout out Rob, who's been on the show before, Rob McMillan, and him and Aaron are similar. Where like even when you're gossiping or like talking shit, they like they're too positive. I'm almost like, dude, you do make me feel like a bad person.
I've never heard Aaron talk shit ever.
They're incapable.
Incapable.
The only
which
time
is
he talks shit is when he's talking about growing mushrooms in shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a trip.
Besides Aaron, do you have like, and I think this is a fallacy of the industry, is that like all fashion people are monsters. Only most are.
Yeah, majority.
And that's, you know, one of the best things about working in this industry is that you do find the keepers and the homies. But for you, who's the most fun person in fashion to hang out with?
I don't know if I hang out with anyone in fashion.
When you were hanging out.
When you were.
I'm not talking about partying. I'm talking about just like kicking it.
Just kicking it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like, I mean, shout out to my boy, Sam Hine. Have you guys? Yeah.
Shout out Sam.
Love
Always a
Sammy.
good time.
Sammy's fucking great. Young Gunna, like just young and hungry.
And everywhere.
You know? And fucking everywhere.
So well dressed.
Yeah,
Dude,
truly.
my man. He's got it.
He's dripped. You got to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
Sam's never looked bad.
No, Sam's never looked bad. And he's just like, it's just funny things that he says, you know, he like says some of these things and you're just like, wow.
He's got quips.
Like,
he's got quips.
He's got quips and they're like, somewhere this is super unexpected. And you're just like, God, I fucking like you, man. You know?
You're a good guy.
You're a fucking good one. You're a good one. Yeah. Yeah. yeah, if I had to go to a show, which I don't anymore, I'd go with fucking Hein.
Yeah.
Right. Well, so he can
Because
get
I know
into-
he's gonna be there
You'll
and he'll
be
get me
front row.
in somewhere.
You'll be behind
Yeah,
him, dude.
yeah,
You'll
no,
sit
exactly.
Is there
I
anything
would
this
be
man
behind
can't
him.
get into?
Can you move your perfect haircut to the left a little bit? I can't see
Yeah,
the YSL
I'm in the
suits.
standing section. Yeah. Samuel.
Well, from mentors like Aaron Levine, let's talk about you kind of mentoring the youths of maybe the next generation coming up. What would your number one tip be for breaking into the biz besides harassing editors and podcasters in the DMs?
I think those DMs are good though.
Yeah.
And like those like just Hail Mary emails too are good. Cause like, I don't know. That's
your email?
to me, that's like, yo, this person's hungry.
Oh.
And they've like taken the time to like figure out like who's doing some stuff and maybe the industry that they want to be in. And I think like I just got, a few emails the other day and they're just like, hey, if you ever need an assistant, hit me. Cause I'm like, I've worked here, I've done this, I've done this, and this, and I'm hungry and I want to like learn.
Do you tap into that?
Yeah, for sure. I always respond. I'm just like, yo,
Oh, wow.
like maybe I don't have something right now, but
Right.
let's talk
Yeah,
soon.
of course.
Huh.
You're on my radar now. So, cause especially for like assisting, it's like, I love to bring new people in. I'm used to like, I have like certain assistants that I love to use cause they know what I'm thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't have to think of they're like 10 steps always. And they know where we're going to go if we need to like pivot. But I think honestly, it's like, I'm trying to think like the best thing for
So
these.
be hungry, but don't, but be respectful.
Gotta be respectful.
No,
and
be
polite.
respectful and like know like the limit, like you lob that like ball out there, like let it sit and marinate for a little
Right.
bit.
Don't harass the
Don't
motherfucker.
chase it. And like once if that person does respond to you, it doesn't need like an immediate response or it doesn't need a follow up all the time. It's
Yeah.
just like, yo, it'll happen, And I think
Patience.
also like find
Padawan.
like if you want to be a stylist, you can also like go work for a photographer too, and just be on sets,
Right.
And like understand like that formula and what happens like when you're on a set,
Right. Which you don't, again, it's not necessarily the role. You might not be in your dream role, but like understanding the way a set works, the flow, the processes is important.
The culture.
Super important.
Yeah.
And, and also like if you're into clothing, like go work at a store too. If you're young and you can do it, go work at like Stella Dallas,
Yeah.
and like just understand like what's coming in, like start to evolve your
Get
aesthetic.
in the trenches.
Put in
dude.
your
Get in the
10,000 hours of folding M65s. Like,
Yeah.
right?
of cutting jorts, dude.
John, how's the slipper business treating you? Is that still
It's great.
what's going on with Lenys World?
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. It's like unexpected little thing that kind of has been like gaining some momentum and it's great. We started it like 3 years ago now.
Damn.
It was like originally I wanted to do like a Charvet type of slipper, but I wanted to be like sub 100.
Sure.
Mhm.
We're not sub 100, but we're getting there.
But it's not Charvet prices.
But it's not Charvet prices. And so we're like, there's like, we're another option out there, but then we're evolving the brand and it's going to get there and we're going to be sub 100 like relatively soon.
Wow.
So
That was the goal for you, is really to bring it down.
Yeah. Cause like I
Double digits.
just want to like get these things out there,
Mass.
Mass.
Like the more good taste in the world, the better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if like you can be under 100, great. Like
Easy.
that's where I want to be. So it's been good. We, we're just like direct to consumer. We've been talking with a lot of retailers, but like retailing's, it's just kind of like wild,
Yeah.
and
A lot of cooks in the kitchen.
a lot of cooks in the kitchen, and those numbers are tough to get to, at least where we are right now. And then we're also talking to hospitality. So we're like,
Ooh.
yeah.
Let's go.
That's where I want to be. Like
in a closet in a hotel room.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because they kind of
Yeah.
are like the best hotel slipper
they're great.
in the
Yeah.
world, right?
They're great. And you can like, if, so it's like do some that are more disposable and then do some that are like Lenny's,
Right.
So
But those are going to be the slippers that people like steal from the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the goal, right?
Yo.
If it's fucking stealable, that's how you know it's good, bro.
It's not nailed down.
So I'm
Wear 'em out
super
the door.
fucking pumped about
steal
that.
these slippers.
Steal these things. Yeah.
Do you have any design aspirations beyond making the best slippers in the world?
I would I've like talked about a kid's brand forever before even having a kid.
Weird.
People are like, why are you so into like doing kids clothes? I'm like, dude,
Why are you buying these baby clothes, bro?
Because like, but I was also an uncle, right? So I always be like, yo, I can't get my nieces and nephews anything.
Yeah,
I can get them stuff, but it's like everyone has it, you know?
Yeah. It's not fresh enough.
That market,
For the Tietz line, bloodline.
there's a lot of good ones out there, but there's like definitely room for growth in the kids sector.
Yeah, you're not kidding Frankie out in Essentials Children's or whatever. Like,
no. I mean, we put her in a lot of stuff, but it's like lacking. Whether it's clothing or it's product, it could be anything, kid. I want to like get into that business for sure.
Is every day just another chance to style your child?
That's why you have a kid, right?
Yeah. It will happen. She's like, she's still just crawling around. She's really close to walking. But I think once she starts walking, that's when like more clothes will like fit her and get some fits off.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Because right now she's just,
She's just a blob in the stroller or whatever. Yeah. Well, speaking of your family, we got to ask, bro. When did you know that Amrit was the one?
Wow.
Was it when you got your belly button pierced?
Yeah, it was the belly button.
Yeah. Couples belly button piercings.
It was like an Avatar connection, just belly button to belly button.
It was wild with Amrit. We met on Raya.
Yeah.
Oh shit. So
Yeah,
it wasn't after she came on our podcast.
So you're saying I have a chance at finding love on Raya? That's crazy. All right, I'll
Breaking news.
I'll re-up.
Good.
Yeah. Someone from Raya just hit up Amrit about like, oh, we already like you met your husband
Share
on
your
Raya.
story.
But yeah, we met on Raya.
Nice.
And then she was in LA, I was in New York, and we were chatting for like weeks, and then like 2 weeks, and then she came for work to New York.
Yeah.
And we met up, and we went for a long walk that night across the Williamsburg Bridge.
Nice, dude. Romantic.
Yeah, very
It was
romantic.
COVID, right? Like that's like what dates were then.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what you did. And it was like tail end, right? So we did this long walk and came back, and she was staying at a hotel close to that. So then, but when I walked across that bridge, I was like, yo,
I'm locked in.
that's it.
I'm dialed.
Yeah, that's it. It was
Wow.
wild. And it happened fast.
Yeah.
From
clearly.
there on, we were like traveled together, work stuff, everything.
Inseparable.
Inseparable.
Belly
Went to
button,
Vegas.
like your belly button rings were fucking hooked.
we like
They're locked at the belly button.
We fused those fuckers together. Yeah.
Welded.
And then
what was your fit on that first date?
Oh yeah.
Fuck. I don't.
Were you
Couldn't tell
stressed?
ya.
Were you pressed about like what to wear?
No.
Yeah.
No.
You're like,
No.
I got this.
No.
It's the least of my problems.
But what did I wear? I don't know what I wore.
Was it like a typical Tietz fit, or you didn't like
It's just
do
like-
anything extra?
No, nothing extra.
Did you wear like your cleanest cooked hat? Like,
and you bring a knife.
Yeah.
A box
For
cutter.
sure.
yeah, you never know, bro.
I don't know this girl.
Yeah.
She could be an LA scammer.
Yeah, dude. Could be getting catfish.
Yeah, Raya
Well,
scammer.
again, every so often, like the best place to see your fits is on Amrit's IG, right? That's one of the many reasons why we follow her. And every so often, she'll start clowning your fits on Instagram, which in the throwing fits world is the greatest compliment you can get.
Yeah.
If your girl hates your fit, that's how you know it's good. So when she does that, though, does that validate the fit, or does that kind of hurt your feelings?
Yeah, be real.
No, I love it. I like revel
Roast
in
me
it.
more.
Roast me.
Roast me, mommy.
Yeah.
No, roast me, mommy.
He's
Yo.
a glutton for punishment, folks.
Yo, she roasts me all the time, and it feels so good.
It's warm.
That's when you know you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Thank
exactly.
you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because like, if she's like, "Ooh, you look good," you're like, "Damn, this
I look
is
like shit.
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck, I gotta change." Yeah.
Her swag is a little like upscale more than like. Have you guys affected the way you dress at all? Like, have you brought her more to the vintage workwear side of things? And vice
Yeah,
versa?
I mean, I think she was like in like vintage world before, but like
vintage
and she was
designer,
always
no?
like a little like oversized.
yeah.
And she's very like, I don't know, do you tomboyish? Like, do you still use that word? I don't know, but
Yeah,
sure.
you know,
It's an Australian
like,
term, I guess. I don't know.
it's Australian.
Yeah.
And
Invented by criminals.
yeah, send them to the island. We wear like each other's clothes constantly.
Right.
So like when
Nice.
she'll go to like an estate sale without me, I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I don't know what she's coming back with.
Right.
My brother once was like, oh, she went there alone. Like, what do you think she's going to find anything? I was like, nah, she's probably not. She came back with like 3 carpenter bags. She goes, I found some stuff. And I'm like, dude, But it's always all good. And we like, yeah, I think we both like riff off of each other and we end up wearing a lot of the same things all the time.
Fire.
Yeah.
The
She like
couple-
posted a picture the other day and I was like, every fucking thing she's wearing right there is mine.
Oh my shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where that went.
Yeah. That's where that is.
Okay.
Yeah. Before coming here, I was like looking for this Moody Blues t-shirt because I wanted to just wear a t-shirt and I couldn't find the fucking t-shirt. So then I put on like 8 things.
Yeah.
That's how you find when you can't find something, you go to her Instagram and be like, that's where it is.
That's where it is.
Okay. All right.
When you guys got
Hamper.
married, technically Amrit was a podcaster. How embarrassing was it to say I do to a podcaster?
I just remember, some of my buddies were like, "Oh, you're like dating like influencer," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah,
A multi
nice.
hyphenate.
Yeah, multi hyphenate."
And then she's got to be like, he's a stylist.
No, and he like has no Instagram.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
all I do is Instagram,
And his fits fucking suck.
Yeah, fits suck. What are people talking about?
Yeah.
No, I didn't even think about it. But she's like obviously like very public, and I'm like very not public.
How does that work?
So I think it's great. It's like yin and yang, you know, and she does her thing and she like respects how like in it or not in it I am. So, yeah.
Do you have
It
any
works out good.
hesitations at all about like having family and like you out there like that? Or were you just like, yo, do your thing? Like, I don't care.
At the end of the day, it's like, do your thing,
It pays the
like
bills, dog.
Yeah, pays
That's it.
bills. And I'm just like, I don't like restricting anyone.
Of course
I'm not like an authority. So
Right,
like,
right.
you want to do it, it makes you happy. That makes me happy. All
Do,
right.
I look fire in this pic, babe? Yes
Yeah.
or no?
Yeah.
Make sure I look good at least.
No,
Come on.
but sometimes
Use
she
the
posts some
parafilter.
stuff and I'm like, oh my God. Like, why are you fucking taking me down like that? Yeah. But
Someone's got to keep you in check.
yeah.
Someone's got to keep you humble.
Keep you even more humble, apparently.
And like having Frankie and stuff, I don't know. A lot of people cover their kids' faces and I don't know.
That face
I
is
don't-
too beautiful to cover.
I don't know if it really matters.
No.
Yeah.
You know?
The government already has everyone.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And weirdos out there,
Right.
They're always going to be weirdos.
Well,
Whatever.
here's a humbling question. How much money do you make?
What are you making these days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing,
Yeah.
bro?
Projects have been good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Projects have been good.
Besides your family and your daughter, and besides vintage clothing, and besides working on the place upstate,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what do you like to spend your money on?
Oh, besides all of that stuff.
Besides like the necessities,
It's
right?
like
Which is
all I
like family,
spend it on.
home,
Yeah.
and clothes. Because we talked about clothes for
Yeah.
2 hours now.
Yeah.
Steaks.
Steaks.
Meat.
Wait, so I can't say upstate, right?
Well, is that a bit of a money pit right now? The
Yeah.
place you're
The reno?
renovating?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the
Mega money pit.
definition of a
but
money
it's
pit.
like the best money pit ever because when we were in LA, we like renovated a rental and
Yeah.
it was fucking so stupid.
But it looked fucking awesome.
It was amazing. But like it was like rotten, So
Yeah,
like
right.
we dumped. It was a rental. We dumped like so much money into that thing, and
Did
it
the
looked
landlord say thank you? Or
Yeah.
that whole situation was
Oh, I can't
so
even imagine,
fucking
dude.
crazy.
Oh, God.
And he was like, I could go on for 45 minutes
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that whole thing, but he was like a crime junkie and like podcaster and all this shit.
Oh,
and
wow.
he had this locked room that he wouldn't let us in. And then that room flooded in like the big
Oh,
like
God.
right.
hurricane storms out there. And so we got into that room, find all this shit. We end up renovating that.
we got to
room.
move to New York.
Yeah.
It was wild. But
Wait,
so,
what
like-
was in the room? Is it a fucking kill dungeon?
No,
Like-
it's just filled with like all of his podcasting stuff and just
Oh.
articles of all these deaths that happened and like murders that
Jeez.
happened over
Okay.
the years, like big ones, small ones, all that stuff. He was like
Weird.
mega crime junkie, but
Okay.
then he was like canceled because he did some like crazy
Ooh.
shit. Because he had a
Okay.
show.
because he was a landlord.
Killed some, yeah,
no, he had like a
killed somebody.
show on Discovery Channel or some shit.
What?
Yeah. And then
Don't
they,
Google this,
Then they
people.
like took him down. But nonetheless, so we like made him. That was like we learned our lesson, right? Like
Right.
don't renovate a fucking rental. And so
Let's buy it first.
So let's buy it
Rule
first.
one of renting, don't renovate.
Be dumb and renovate a rental. So we got this joint, and now that's like all we think about, you know. And like that's where we want to put like all over
The forever home, or
yeah.
at least for the time being.
Yeah. Like side money goes straight to that. thing.
So that's like attracting all the funds right
For
now. Besides
sure.
like the
like
necessity.
chainsaws, all the shit.
And because you're doing this, to be clear, it's like you're hands on with this shit. Like you guys are doing it yourself.
We're doing a lot of it
A lot.
ourselves.
What you can
yeah,
do,
yeah,
yeah.
So we've put a list together. We know what we're gonna like hit and prioritize of like, okay, we're gonna hire this out. I can do this. I can do that. I think it's mostly time management. It's like, how am I gonna get up to the house and get
Yeah.
some of the stuff done? Because when we go up as a family, you don't get shit done.
No, of course
You
not.
don't get anything
You
done.
have a baby.
You have a baby. So you're like doing all that stuff, which is great. But then you leave and you're like, wait, we didn't get any house stuff done.
It was just quality time. What a fucking waste.
What are we doing here?
This is bullshit.
yeah.
I swept.
Yeah.
Swept.
What's the number?
Clean
What's
some
the
books.
next big project for the DIY on the of the list?
We're gonna do so the house is like L-shaped, and in the back, like the back middle is all covered in an old greenhouse.
Mm.
Yeah, that
You're a
opens
plant
like
daddy.
plant daddy, big time. And like the kitchen and one of the living rooms all open into this thing.
Fire.
And there's no doors. So it's just like this
Ooh.
whole open air thing, like
Love that.
this crazy like ecosystem that happens
Open
with these
floor
things.
plan.
Bad for allergies.
During the
Great
day,
for vibes.
the house is like sweltering, right? Like the greenhouse works.
Yeah.
But then at night when the sun goes down, all of
Right.
a sudden you're like, the house is freezing. So it's like, it's a weird deal. So we're going to rip that thing off.
Okay.
Mm.
And then we're going to turn that into like a stone patio.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We're going to
dude.
miss like the greenhouse because it's
Yeah.
pretty,
You
but
could build
it's
a greenhouse elsewhere on the property, no?
yeah, for sure.
a standalone situation.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There's a pool out in the
Whoa.
field. Yeah. Out in the derelict pool, like
Yeah.
not working.
Skatable.
Skatable. Sand at the bottom, but
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's in the middle of a field. It was beautiful at one point. So I was talking with pool guys yesterday, trying to figure out what we're going to do there.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
get Amrit to like turn her TikTok into like a pool cleaning account.
No,
Those
I
are
know.
huge.
I know.
Those are huge.
Literally, I pitched so many things to her, being like, I'm like, can you do something for Bobcat? Like, so we could get a skid
Yeah.
steer in here?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Is John
Deere
Deere?
fucking-
No, for sure. I pitched it. I was like, yo, what's John Deere doing these days?
We need
What's their budget?
We need a Komatsu backhoe, bro.
Yo,
like,
would
what is-
love a Kubota. Sure.
Yeah. Some Caterpillar spawn con.
No, it's all needed.
Right.
Yeah.
All needed.
Hell
Send
yeah.
it our way.
Well,
Social
John,
media good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John, we want to thank you for taking the time away from your family,
Yeah.
away from cleaning your 18th century pool. Cat's out on TikTok soon. Before we get you out of here, we would love to know, as someone who we love, admire, respect, both personally and professionally, do you have any constructive criticism that you would like to give us?
How can we be better? Be best.
Be best. No, I don't have shit. I don't have any
No?
criticism. No, I don't have any.
You had a good time?
Yeah, I had a
Had
great
a good time?
No, this is the
I'm
best
so
time.
happy we
Okay,
could
dude.
finally make this happen. This is awesome.
We've never
People
like
are gonna be-
sat down and done like a full on
I
fucking
know.
chat
This
like
is
We
great.
haven't done this.
Yeah.
This was perfect.
We'll do
Yeah.
this soon over some steaks.
Yeah.
That's too steady.
Where
Hey.
can the kids
Yeah.
follow you? What do you want to plug? I know like we've joked about like the IG being low key dormant, but like you want some followers on that shit? You want to shout it out? What do you want to do?
Yeah, Lenny's World. For sure.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right.
Follow
Fucking
Lenny's
buy
World.
some slip skis.
yeah,
Yeah.
slip
dude.
skis, dude. Get your slip
Absolutely.
skis.
Yeah.
John, thank you for coming on to the
Thank you,
only
boys.
Appreciate you, bro.
Podcast Matters. Chef, take us out.